Welcome back. We are going to talk about a build order that I have been using to great avail in Zerg vs Terran at about it's been effective at a 58% win rate, all the way into Diamond 2. So 58% win rate is after I started this season at 36% and did terrible the entire time. And now I haven't lost a Terran game in quite a long time, and I've been hit with cheeses, I've been hit with the battlecruiser build, I've been hit with Hellions, I've been hit with the 2-1-1. This kind of just stops it, and it's because it's a strong defensive, well-rounded build that is very tailored for being good against Terran. So I'm not going to get too detailed with the actual build points themselves. I'm going to talk about some important little details that I make in this. So of course I'm going to put the build order in the description below if you want to go through all of the little things. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, but basically it's a standard. It's a 16 hatch opener. It's not a 17. That's just kind of personal preference. My queens line up a little bit better with a 16 opener, but you can do a 17 opener on this if you want. And then it's 18 gas, 17 pool. You could do an 18 pool if you want. It's not going to change things that much. But one first thing that I do is the 19 Overlord that everyone usually makes. I skip that 19 Overlord in order to go for up to 22, and I'm going to pull off of gas early and take an early third. So taking an early third is dangerous for proxies. So if you look at my Overlord pathing right now, my first two Overlords aren't going to go straight across the map. First Overlord is going to go out to my third, towards my fourth, and scout for one proxy over there. Then it's going to head down towards his natural to see if he's expanding. Second Overlord is going to go out towards the other proxy spot, and then cut back across. Here at 21 supply, you're going to see I'm pulling off of gas early. So at 56 gas, I take one drone, send it to my natural. Then I take the next drone and I send it over to my third. And this lines up really well, so I can get a 27 hatch right as it's there. And the cool thing about this is, if he opens Reaper first, even if this is coming across the map very aggressively, it can't get to my third base before it's finished. So it's a very safe opener. I just don't have to worry about the Reaper block with this build. It's going to delay my speed a little bit, but I'm not really worried about it. That's not such an issue. Next thing, creep tumor first on their natural queen, and then you pull both of your queens down towards the front. This is a positioning thing. So the Reaper is going to come in. All I'm trying to do right now is protect my creep tumor. Protecting this creep tumor is essential for how this build works and why it's so powerful and why it's so good. Yeah, so about 36 supply, I'm going to inject and start another creep tumor. So it should be two creep tumors right about 315. I should have two down on the map by 315. And I'm going to creep spread one towards my third and one towards my fourth. That's a really important part. Having great creep spread in Diamond League against Terran is a huge key to win. So basically, I want to get up to about 7 queens. And then, so here, let's take a look really quick. I'm going to pause it. I just now scouted that he has a second base. It's 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Now, this is one of the big key points in this build. Until now, what do I know he's not done? It's all about information and understanding your opponent in this matchup. A lot of it is. So one thing I know, he's not proxying, because I've scouted over here and I've scouted down here. So I know that there's no proxies on the map. At least any proxies that aren't going to attack me like right now. Right, so let's look. He's just about finishing up his starport here at 3:30. This is a very standard opener. If he skipped his command center, there could be a starport a little bit faster. But it's very limited on gas. So even if you skip your command center, you only have a finite amount of gas. He sent a Reaper across. So I'm not really, like the Reaper costs gas, which delays the starport and everything. So I'm not super worried about any kind of proxy starport or anything like that at this point in the game. It's all about understanding what has he spent gas on. If you see a Reaper, you know that his, you know, his other units aren't going to be as quick. Now I finally scouted that he has a natural. If I scout he doesn't have a natural, it's 38 workers. I'm about 35 right now. I would go up to 38, and I would just go either Ling Bane Queen or Roach Ling Queen. Depends on what I think is coming. Since I saw a Reaper, I would maybe go, I don't know, I would probably just go Ling Queen and hope for the best. Maybe some spines in there instead, and just try to squeeze out a couple more drones or something like that, but it's not a big issue. Because I see that he has a natural, I'm going to go immediately up to 44 workers. So that's my rule that I've made for myself. No natural, 38 workers, we make units. If there is a natural, 44 workers, and we keep making queens, and we get up to 44 workers. So right at 44 supply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my Overlord in to see where is your fusion core. Are you building battle cruisers right now? Because one's going to about to show up in 30 seconds if he is. And then I send one Ling out to each of his third bases. I'm going to get supply blocked in this because of that Overlord. That usually doesn't happen. I can usually save it or get it out, but it's not a big issue. So at 44 workers, where I am right now, where am I? At 44 workers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making some blind lings. All right, so let's pause it again really quick. Sorry. So because he has a natural, what I'm going to do is drone up to 44 workers, and then I'm going to make 10 supply of lings. By this time, I should have 5 queens, 6, 7. So I've got 2 more about to finish. 2 more just about to finish. Well, this one's a little bit far. This one's a little bit far, but I was supply blocked. That's why this is a little bit farther. It should be similar to this. Supply blocked because I went for the scout, and I didn't see that he had anything ridiculous. So that's what that is. Now, about 4:30 to 5 minutes, Terran is going to throw some shenanigans at you. That's what happens with Terran and ZvZ. About 5 minutes in every game, they have something come in to attack you. This game, he's come in pretty early at 4:30, which means if it's before 5 minutes, 4 queens can stop it, which is why you have 4 queens. And I have creep spread. He can't just run up into my stuff. Remember, I've been focusing on creep spread. I've got creep way out here, and I've got creep over here. Creep towards your third, creep towards your fourth. That's a big rule. Now, positioning. Lings are back over here. If he tries to swing in through, I can catch it with my lings. I've got 8 more on the way. I should have about 20 right now, but I, supply block. And the queen's over here to block this entrance. So I'm totally protected from this. This is the beauty of this opener. The Terran's going to try to throw something at you at 4 minutes, 30 seconds to 5 minutes. I have queens and lings to defend this. So we're just going to play it out and watch the production tab. Watch the production tab. I have enough lings and queens to defend this right now. As soon as those lings pop, I have a set number of lings that I always make, and then immediately back into drones. And yes, I always have my queens and my lings at a different entrance. Lings over here, queens over here, or queens over here, lings over here. And we drone up to 51. At 51, so basically, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I love this build. 44 workers. You get the 44 workers if he's expanded. Then you make 10 supply of defense units. I make 10 supply of lings. I'm at 14. I've lost a couple. Not a big issue. And 4 queens. I've got 1 queen per base. So I'm at a total of 7. Right at 5 minutes, I should have 7 queens. Where is my 7th queen? There she is. It's almost there. 7 queens. 51 workers. I had more than that because I just dropped these 2. And I should have about 20 lings. I lost about 2 lings in there. So this is basically I did perfect on this opener this game. This is 100% what I'm trying to do. By 5 minutes, 51 workers, 20 lings, 7 queens, and creep spread. This is what my opener is. As soon as you hit 51 workers, you go evolution chamber, layer, and then you do the Baneling Nest. Actually, the lair is a little bit late on this game. I made that mistake. When your 3rd queen pops, you should make your lair. But it still works really well. So I've defended all of his stuff. Now we're going to start talking about decisions that I'm making. My goal here in this matchup now is to get to 75 workers, and just destroy him with Ling Bane Hydra on 75 worker economy on 6 gas. That's what I want. So I'm waiting for my lair to finish, and I'm going to just drone up to 66 workers right now. He doesn't attack me. I know that he doesn't have a third yet, so I don't need to be super greedy. I don't need to go to 70 right now because I have the map vision, but I do need to make sure I'm not going to just die. So we're going to do Spore Crawl on each base. So he's still trying to run his Hellions around, but he can't come in. He can't come into my base. And I'm staring at the minimap right now. So if this is where he wants to come over, I creep out in that way. And again, every time, this is so important. There's a Banshee coming in, but I have spores now. Every time, it's about positioning. Your queens and your lings should always be on opposite sides of the map. So he's not going to try to run in over there. He's not going to try to run in over there. He's going to try to run in with Cloak Banshee in the main. I've got spines. He can't really do much damage. Alright, he's killed how many workers? 2. Fine. I'm on 60, he's on 40. Good. I've got my lings over here. My queens, again, my queens are coming home to defend from this Banshee. Immediately I pull my lings over here. So these are the little things that I'm doing. He can't just run into my base. And if he does, look, I have creep spread. This is why creep spread is so important. I just have the map vision. I can spread out everywhere I want to go. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him. So, because I see that he might be going for another base, I'm going to go up to 75 workers. I'm getting a little bit greedy. I'm not even really looking right now. I'm not even really looking at what he's doing. I'm just kind of macroing around, making sure that my creep spread is okay, making sure that my bases are nice and saturated. So I do lose a lot of queens to that. That's a big mistake, and especially because he's, if you see in the production tab, he is going battle cruisers on this game. I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit pretty hard with, you know, these Banshees are doing a lot of work. So I'm not really worried. So at this point, it's all about just, okay, I'm going to spend my cash, I'm going to max out as soon as I can. I have a very specific max out composition. My composition is 20 Hydras, 4 Infestors, Ling Bane. 20 Hydras, 4 Infestors, Ling Bane, and as soon as I start 2-2, and Hydra range or speed, I go to, I start my Infestation Pit. So, good job on him. Just focus on my creep spread. I'm not afraid of his battle cruisers. I've got 75 workers, and I know that he's just maybe started his. Well, I'm on 70 workers. I lost maybe 4 workers. How many workers did I lose? I lost 2 workers, so I'm not on 75 yet because I don't have a 4th yet. Basically, you don't want to make workers for bases that you don't have. And this is basically the gist of my build. So we're just going to kind of watch through the rest of this but really my build goes up to 5 minutes. I have the ability to defend his first pressure regardless of what it is. And then I just take a 4th. I get up to 70 workers. I get Ling Bane. And then I dominate the map with my creep spread. Creep spread and positioning your units is so important in ZvT. Never have your queens and your lings in the same place. Always have a set of creep queens that are always pushing creep out across the map, and have map vision as much as possible. So I saw that he had battle cruisers, so I'm like, okay, let's get a Spire just in case he's going to mass them. I don't know if he's going to be stupid enough to mass battle cruisers against me right now. Being as far ahead as I am, he's going to need units. So yeah, here, 3 more battle cruisers. Let's watch how much damage these battle cruisers do to me now. I don't even look at it really. I'm making sure I'm macroing. I've got all my Banes. I'm going to pull my Banes away. I honestly just selected everything and moved it towards it. I'm not afraid of Hellion run-bys. You know why I'm not afraid of Hellion run-bys? Because I've got all my Banelings up over here. This is, again, this is... You have to think about... And I didn't even look. What I did over here... I'll go back a little bit. What I did over here in this attack... I went back way too far. What I did over here in this attack... Battle cruisers are going to come in. Okay, yeah, so I control click on my Banelings. I control click on my Banelings, and I'm like, okay, you guys, instead of being here, I'm afraid of the Hellion run-by that's going to hit my 4th. Because that's what he's going to want to do. I have all my Lings over here, and then my Banes are going to walk right down over here. And if he had more APM and wanted to send these Hellions over, shabam, I've got Speed Banes to just eat them up, and I'm rallying my units from this hatchery right to here. I've completely cleaned up his battle cruisers, and as soon as I've cleaned up his battle cruisers, we creep again. We keep pushing the creep out, and we have our queens and our army on different sides. So ready? Wherever we're not pushing our creep, we have our army, because they're defending there. He can't just walk siege tanks up here. If he's trying to walk siege tanks up here, I'll run around and surround. And over here, I've got all my creep in the world. So I don't have any creep here. That's a little bit bad. He's been cleaning it up a little bit. So let's go back into my camera vision. Danberg cam. The Danberg cam. Yep, and now I am on. There's my infestors. I've got some Vipers now in case he's going to keep trying to go BCs. I'm just going to pick them off. And I'm not really afraid of his army because he's throwing away battle cruisers. He's throwing away all kinds of stuff. I'm on 70 workers. I've got a nice bank behind me. I've got a nice larva count. You can look at the minimap. I'm just going to pick off his battle cruisers because that's what I'm worried about. And I have enough Ling Bane to just destroy Mass Tank. I know that Ling Bane isn't good against Mass Tank, but it doesn't really matter. I did a lot of damage there to him. He's on 100 supply. I'm on 144. He's on 60 workers. I'm on 70. He can't move out across the map because he has battle cruisers. And now if he wants to jump battle cruisers across the map to pull me home, he can jump one battle cruiser. And I've got my queens. So this is my composition right now. So I don't have very many Hydras because I'm starting to make corruptors. So I'm doing a little bit of mixing. I want to get some Broodlords in because he's going mass tank. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. Making sure all of my bases are nice and perfectly saturated. On a creep spread. Oh, he's going to come and attack me with battle cruisers. Let's pull everything home. Get ready for the counterattack. So you can see it on the minimap. You can see it on the minimap, all the Hellions. You see it down here. You can see it on the minimap. I see it. I see it. So, all of my army. Back over to here. I've got so much Ling. I don't care about these. I really just want to surround them. Yeah.
Evolution complete. We're running out of minerals.
I made a couple mutas on accident. I clicked the wrong button. Still diamond. Not perfect. Now, I have 70 workers against 60. And he keeps throwing his armies away. And I'm going to take a really nice trade. I've got my... So, yeah. What I'm trying to do is pull him down. Take a look at what his composition is. And I want to see, do I need to morph these into broods or do I need to keep them where they are? So the mutas, I'm like, alright, go attack some tanks. This isn't a very good trade, but I just have so much stuff. I can remax constantly. The Vipers do some nice parasitic bombs on his units. I've got the corruptor count. I've got corruptors everywhere. I just surround his army. I pee on his command center. There we go. Inject, inject, inject. Let's move some of these larvae. Let's move some of these drones around.
You're engaging the opponent. Mutation complete.
You know what's not good against Vikings? You know what Vikings aren't good against? A bunch of lings. So yeah, I catch all of his SCVs here. Now it's just game. I have killed 47 of his workers, and now I'm just gonna go bust his wall down.
That field's been mined out. Hope you have an expansion.
If he wants to turtle up, this is how you deal with it. When you're ahead this far, when you're ahead by 60 workers
Your forces are under attack.
on all your bases, you just run in. There it is. So this is my build. So let's kind of recap again. It was a fun game. I really enjoyed these games. This is how almost all of my ZvZ work. This is how almost all of my ZvZ work. Let me show you just one more so you can take a look. I do the same build every game. Here we go. I do the same build every single game. And this is my most recent ZvT against Higma. And again, we're just going to put it on double speed, and we're going to talk about what I'm doing. First Overlord goes out to the third. Second Overlord goes out to... Second Overlord goes out to the other proxy area. Take a nice early natural. I see SCV over here. The only thing I'm worried about is if he's going to try to block my third. I see with the Overlord that he has sent it over to the fourth base over here, so I'm like, sweet, and nabbed it. If I see an SCV over here, I'm going to go to the opposite side. That's why I can see with my Overlords what's going on. I see he's got a Reaper. I see he's got this. Oh, he's going to make a bunker. I can't find the goddamn high ground, so I lose the Overlord. Get supply blocked, which sucks. Creep tumor first. Creep tumor first. Walk them out to my third. I see that he's expanded, so we are going to grow up to 44 workers. 34. At 44 workers, I made, well, 42. All right, I make 10 supply to defend. I've got my 4 queens over here. I've got my lings back over here in case he tries to run in. Oh, geez, my game just froze. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Game is frozen. Okay, so 5 minutes. Boom! Let's take a look. So 5 minutes. I forget my layer again. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Okay, so I forget my layer again. 5 minutes. Let's take a look. 7 queens, 20 lings. I should have 51 workers. A little low on the work. Oh, I do have 50 workers. They're all just about to hatch. And then I go Evo, Baneling Nest. I should have already had my damn hive or layer started. Got some spore crawlers down just in case he wants to try to send a liberator or anything like that. That's really what I'm worried about with these. If I see that he's going early cloak banshee or something like that, I'll get these earlier, about 4:30. But now I'm just worried about the weird liberator. I've got lings in both of his third and fourth. Positioning, again, my lings at home, queens over here to stop. Creep spread. I can see everything in the world. I can see this little SCV. So let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Now, because I don't see any attack coming, I'm just going to get up to 55 workers. I'm going to try to get up to 66 workers, but I'm going to be safe about it. I want to be safe. So, Liberator's coming in. Guess what? I've got that bad boy. That takes care of everything. I lost 3 workers. I'm on 58. He's on 50. I see that he's trying to take his third. I see his little pathetic army. I think, all right. Let's get up to 66 workers. I'm on 66. Let's take a fourth base. I've already creeped out of it. I've got so much creep spread over here, I don't need to necessarily be over there all the time. And he's not attacking me. He's not attacking me. He's not taking his fourth. So I'm going to, again, I'm going to get up to 80 workers, 75 to 80 workers. I'm just going to get upgrades. And I'm going to get a hive. And I'm going to continue creep spreading. So let's just take a look at my map vision right now. You know what I don't care about is him coming in with something. What's this? 2 Vikings? Okay.
We're running out of minerals back home.
Guess what? Guess how I win this game. This is a Diamond 2. This is a Diamond 2 Terran. I have the whole map of creep spread right now. Alright, so I'll talk a little bit about this engagement. Jeez. Alright, so... I win. I win right now. I'm on 70... He's on 74 workers. I'm on 77 workers. But I have just so much of the map. I have so much of the map right now that he can't be aggressive towards me. I see everything that he's going to do. So I can see exactly what his army composition is. I can pick the best possible surround, and I can run in. So until now, what you would see is I'm starting to make 27 banelings right now. Until this point, I have 3 banelings already made. 3. That's because I don't need them. Because I can see everything that's going on. The worst thing you could possibly do is make banelings when you don't need them. Because all of that gas was going to take away from how fast you're going to start 3-3. It's going to cut away from how fast you can start up your Spire and your Ultralisk Den. It's going to take away how fast you can start up adrenal glands. That's going on right now. It's going to take away from, you know, how many banelings you can just make out of nowhere. So right now my composition, I've got no infestors. Yeah, I do. 5 infestors. Yeah, so I thought, I was like, how do I have no infestors? 5 infestors. I should have 20 hydras. I have a few more infestors than I usually do. 77 workers and a bunch of Ling Bane. Just a mass ton of Ling Bane. So we're going to let him pull way deep into creep. And here's what I'm going to focus. Hydras on the air stuff and the Thors. Banelings are going to kill all of his Hellbats. So I'm just going to wait for him here. I send over the fungal. So this is, I want to soften up all of his units. So I do this. This is actually really bad. I've got a big bank, and I'm doing really well, so I'm not really worried. I know that he's going mech, which means remaxing for him is going to take him probably 25 years to remax on this many. How much production does he have right now? Let's take a look at his production. 1, 2. Let's see his structures. He has 4 factories, which means he can make a total of 2 tanks and 4 Hellions at a time. Yep. Good production. So, do you want to make Thors? You can make 2. And then you can make 4 Hellions. 1 Thor takes 43 seconds, and 1 tank takes 30 seconds. So, 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes to get this back. Minute and a half. So it would take 5 minutes. It would take over 5 minutes for him to just get that. Right there is over 5 minutes of production. Because he doesn't have any production. That's not good. So I can take a really unfavorable trade right now. Because I own the map. So I'm going to do something funky. I fungal all of his army. And then I just run into it. There you go. Got my queens here too. And I just kind of mow it down. That was probably a worse trade for me by far. But you know what? It doesn't matter when I'm creeping into his third base. I just own this map. So he's on 70 workers. He's on 60 workers, but let's look at his saturation. Alright, good. That's good. Okay. Where are all of his SCVs? How many idle SCVs does this guy have?
Upgrade complete.
Oh, there we go. I was gonna say. There must have been moving. They must have been moving. Yeah. So, all right. I'm just gonna keep creeping. Keep creeping. Keep creeping. Keep on creeping. I'm maxed out basically again. I'm making ultras this time. Now we've got ultras. Ultras aren't the best thing against mech, but you know what? When you're this far ahead, you just need to have more shit. So I need to fix my saturation on my natural. I think I'm about to do that. Yeah. I have a moment, so I'm going to go take it over to here. My creep is across the map. So this build, again, it doesn't really matter what he's doing. If he wants to turtle up, my end game, I still have a direction for it. 75 workers, Ling Bane Hydra. As soon as I max out with that, I trade for a better army. So as soon as I'm maxed out, that's when I drop Spire and Ultralisk Den. And I get some Banelings, I try to trade that out. If I need to remax on Ling Bane Hydra one more time, I can. But as soon as possible, I'm like, alright, let's get some Ultras, let's get some Broods, let's get more Infestors. And let's just eat his army. So I'm literally, I scouted his 4th base with Creep. I know that he doesn't have a 4th base because I have Creep in it right now. I own the map. Basically, I have all the map hacks in the world right now. Now, this is Diamond. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just waiting. He's gonna turtle up. Here's my favorite thing to do to turtles. I've got a massive bank, right? Let's take a look at what he's got with some changelings. Send him up. He's trying to take a 5th. Can't. Getting more Hydralisk stuff. Starting up all my other upgrades. Here he comes. Guess where I am? Come on down into Creep again, buddy. Come on into Creep Town. Come on down into Creep Town. See how many Hellions he has versus his tanks? This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. So, what does he have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks, and it's been about 5 minutes. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now he's starting to add on more production, but it was way too late. This was way too late. So it's taken him 5 minutes, and he has, let's see his army composition now. 26 Hellbats. I have 6 Ultralisks and 40 Banelings. Gonna win. Gonna win. This is not... I feel super confident with my with my Terran build. I feel super confident. I have no problems beating Terrans right now on the ladder. The issue I'm having right now is Zerg and Protoss. I feel like I'm playing at Diamond 2 level with my Zerg, but I'm not playing very good with Protoss or Terran. So I hope you like this build order. I'm going to put the list down below, but I wanted to kind of talk about some of the decisions I'm making during this game and some of the actual build that I'm using. So not getting super detailed in all of the little points, but the major decisions I'm making. So I'm going to put the build order until 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put the thought process after that, and hopefully you can have good success with this build on the ladder. I know I do right now. And here we go. Right now, pardon my Zerg versus Terran, and my Zerg versus Zerg, and my Zerg versus Protoss. This is bad and this is bad. But right now, this has gone from 37% all the way up to 58%. So I haven't really lost games in a long time against Terran. I'm trying to fix ZvZ right now. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.